Tonight's story is Echoes at Mile 43.
I used to tell people that working the roads was peaceful. Night shift, no traffic, nothing but the hum of a diesel generator and the tap of gravel on your boots. You mend what's broken, paint what's fading, and drive home while the horizon's still gray. That kind of quiet earns you a paycheck and a strange sense of being outside the world. The first time I heard the voice was a Tuesday. It came from the ditch between mile markers 43 and 44, right where the guardrail dips and the cattails bend toward the creek. I was setting new reflectors, one every 50 yards, and I heard someone call my name. Not a shout, just the kind of tone you use when you're walking up behind a friend. "Hey, Dale!" I turned, expecting my partner, but Randy was a mile down, patching asphalt. The radio in my vest pocket was dead quiet. The voice had come from below the rail. I figured it was a hunter trespassing or a drunk who ditched his car on the far side. I leaned over. Nothing but cattails and black water. Then it called again. "Hey, Dale. Need a hand?" There's a joke that every maintenance worker learns early. The road talks back sometimes. Don't listen. The old guys mean you'll hear wind in culverts, frogs under bridge joints, that kind of thing. But this was my name and my rhythm, said the way I say it when I'm trying to sound cheerful. I told myself I was tired. Too many night shifts, too much caffeine. I kept setting reflectors, but the sound stayed close, keeping pace, like footsteps in gravel that aren't yours. By the time Randy caught up, I'd already decided not to mention it. He's the kind of man who'll turn a story into a nickname before lunch. That night I couldn't sleep. The echo of my own voice kept looping in my head. Flat, not mocking, just close. The next evening I went back to check my line. One reflector was missing. The post was snapped clean, no tire marks, no sign of impact. I put a new one in. When I straightened up, I heard breathing. The kind you get through a cheap walkie before the talk button clicks. "Didn't think you'd come back?" That's what it said. Me saying it. Same drawl, same little hitch. Before the U, I dropped the post driver. The sound came from the ditch again, only this time the ditch had an echo to it. Like two versions of the same word trying to meet in the middle. I crouched by the rail and said, "Who's there?" "Who's there?" it answered. Not repeating, not mocking, just saying the same thing at the same time. The air was warmer down there, damp and heavy like before a thunderstorm. I felt a pull, gentle but sure, as if the night wanted me to step closer. I backed off, got in the truck, and left the post driver behind. You learn to file weird things under paperwork titles that don't raise eyebrows. I marked the area for erosion check, requested a guardrail inspection, and worked other routes for a week. But the road doesn't like being ignored. The following Monday, a call came over the yard radio. Someone had reported a man waving a vest light in the ditch near 43. I was closest, so dispatch sent me. When I got there, the shoulder was empty. The vest light lay on the gravel, my spare, the one I'd lost a week earlier. Still glowing. Battery, half dead. I picked it up and heard my own boots crunch behind me, the same tempo, same weight. I turned. Nothing. I told myself, wind, animal, echo off the embankment. And then my radio clicked and I heard my voice say, "Don't look so hard." I froze. "Randy?" Silence. Then, "I'm not Randy." I ran the truck's high beams across the ditch. The cattails bent away from the light, slow, like they were breathing. Down in the creek, something gleamed. A reflection, maybe. Two, actually. I realized I was seeing my own face in the water, twice, offset by half an inch. One mouth was closed, the other was smiling. The radio hissed again. "You left the post driver?" I didn't remember turning the mic on. I didn't remember pressing anything at all. People think fear makes you scream or freeze. Sometimes it just makes you finish your shift. I marked the logbook, clocked out, went home, and took the long way so the route's name wouldn't show up twice in my mind. Sleep didn't come. The hum of the refrigerator matched the hum from the ditch. I unplugged it. The hum stayed. Next day I called in sick and drove to 43 in daylight. Sun high, no tricks. Cattails dry and golden. The replacement reflectors still in line, except one, again the third from the creek, was missing. I found it 20 yards off, shoved into mud. The mud was rippled like something had slid through, not walked. I looked down into the water and saw the same double image, my reflection and another slightly behind it, wearing a safety vest with one missing stripe. I took a photo. The phone shut off as soon as I hit capture. I left. Randy noticed I'd gone quiet. He asked if I'd been drinking. I told him the ditch at 43 didn't feel right. He laughed, said, "That stretch is older than both of us. Maybe it remembers when it was gravel." That night he called me from the road, said his radio was acting up, picking up fragments. "Sounds like you," he said. "You out here messing with me?" I told him no. He laughed again, but not long enough. Then I heard him on my own radio, even though I hadn't keyed in. "Echoes don't hurt nobody," he said. "Just means the road's talking back." Signal cut. Next morning his truck was found idling at 43. Door open, tools still in the bed. Randy wasn't there. They dragged the creek. Nothing. The sheriff called it voluntary disappearance. The county logged it as personal leave. The crew kept working. Roads don't wait for closure. I told the foreman I'd handle the cleanup. Someone had to move the truck. When I got there, the cab was cold. Not cool, cold, like a walk-in freezer. On the seat lay a single reflector post, broken in the middle. It looked like the one I'd set last, except the paint was flaking backward, as if wind had stripped it from the other direction. I reached for it. The truck's radio clicked on by itself. "Hey, Dale." Same tone, same half-smile in the voice. "Need a hand?" Static, then the same words again, slower. "Need a hand." I backed away. The hum rose from the ditch. That same electric but not sound, until it felt like my bones were the antenna. When I looked into the creek again, I saw two figures now. One in a vest with no stripes, both standing still, water up to their knees. The farther one lifted a hand, mine, and pointed at the missing reflector. Then they both turned and walked into the cattails. The hum dropped, and the water closed like nothing had been there. You can make sense of anything if you're paid to keep roads open. So here's my sense. Sound carries strange on low ground. Reflections double when the surface shifts. People go missing for reasons that start simple and end personal. That's the version I gave the sheriff. But there's another. The next week, driving home, I passed Mile 43 again. New rail, fresh paint, everything neat. For a second, I saw someone in the ditch. Orange vest, post driver over the shoulder. I slowed, ready to honk or wave. He looked up. I looked up. Same man, same eyes. He didn't wave. He mouthed something. The light hit my windshield wrong, so I couldn't hear, but I could read the lips. Don't come back. I haven't. Now when I lie awake, I hear that hum under ordinary noises. Refrigerator, power lines, heartbeat. It's low, patient, like the road breathing through me. Some nights I dream I'm standing on the shoulder, water at my knees, setting reflectors that are already there. In the dream, I hear Randy somewhere behind me, saying my name the way I say it when I want to sound calm. If I wake before the alarm, I tell myself it's nothing but nerves, the mind's way of smoothing its own pavement. But I keep the truck keys by the bed anyway, just in case something calls again and I forget what I promised myself. If you drive that stretch and see a man in a vest waving a flashlight at the ditch, don't stop. Don't roll your window down. Just nod like you would to any road worker and keep your eyes on the center line, because some echoes aren't of sound. They're of intent. The road between mile 43 and 44 remembers who stops to listen, and once it learns your voice, it might not let go of it.
If you liked this story and want to hear more like it, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and remember, some stories only grow in the dark. Good night, everyone.